What's up gamers, Dreamcastguy here, and it's Top 10 Thursday. The Nintendo Switch is such an interesting little system because it's partially a handheld and also a console. As somebody who is a big lover of gaming at home, it kind of blurs the lines for me. It's something that, for the first time, is making me want to sit down and play a big shooter and then pick it up and take it on the go. It manages to do both just amazingly. So today, though, I want to try and do something a little bit special. Let's look at the games that, in my opinion, are better when you're just playing it like a giant Game Boy. These are my picks of the top 10 Nintendo Switch games better in handheld. Number 10. Rocket League. If you told me as a kid that one of the most fun sports titles of my adult life would be about remote-control cars playing soccer, I probably wouldn't have believed you. Rocket League is a fantastic game that's easy to learn but very tough to get good at. Mastering the art of boosting in these tiny arenas and smashing the giant ball takes far more practice than it may appear. That's why it's so cool though, is that it's something you can dump hours into and enjoy slowly getting better. Having this as a handheld though really improves the experience since the average match is only about 5 minutes. You can crush your opponents in a quick match, figure out some new trick, and then put it in sleep mode for more excitement later. Number 9. Time Recoil. The library of great stuff on Switch is growing by the day, but this is one that I always felt never got enough attention. Time Recoil is a fantastic twin-stick shooter, and yet it's also sort of a puzzle game. The general idea is that you're a scientist with the ability to slow down time with each kill you get in a row. Think of it as Hotline Miami, but with the added element of staying on the move being absolutely mandatory to beat a level. The only way to complete a mission is to essentially eliminate every target perfectly so that you can keep the world frozen long enough to not be shot, since one bullet will take you out. This mechanic of pushing you to rush through laboratories at an ever-quickening pace is ludicrously fun, and I never wanted the action to stop. Number 8. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. At this point, we've seen this famous racing series appear on every Nintendo console and handheld since the SNES, and while I thought that they were each appealing in their own way, Mario Kart 8 is the first that truly grabbed me. The set of 64 tracks to cruise on, the huge set of characters, and the customizable cars kept me coming back for more. With so many options on how to play, it's obvious why everybody loves this game so much, and yet there's an extra layer of awesomeness to getting to undock your Switch and take it on the road. Since there really isn't a lot of talking or text on the screen that you have to worry about, this is perfect for competitions at any time. Just grab a buddy, undo a Joy-Con, and you can challenge them anywhere at any time. Just make sure that you don't accidentally knock your Switch over after you absolutely dominate them and do a little victory dance. Number 7. Yooka-Laylee. When this game originally came out, it had some problems. Jumps were delayed, the camera sucked, and the audio was kinda screwy, but thankfully the developers stuck with this adorable project and repaired it. They knew that they had created something special, so after some patches, we now have a platformer that is a goofy great adventure that's hard to put down. Meet our two heroes, Yooka and Laylee. One afternoon while relaxing, they're looking through this magic book they've found when suddenly it gets sucked into the sky. It seems an evil jerk named Capital B is trying to steal all the novels in the world and sell them for billions of dollars. Now it's up to our cartoony pals to travel from land to land, searching for lost pages, beating up monsters, and getting into foot races. Really anything that helps them rebuild their book. There's a really cool retro feel to this experience that is captured wonderfully, and it makes me hope that someday we get a sequel. Number 6. Stardew Valley. An aspect of gaming that I occasionally forget about is just the fun, peaceful style games. Not everything needs to be crazy over the top, have tons of bombs and online multiplayer. Sometimes the most joy you can have is just settling down to plant some seeds or construct a couple fences. Stardew Valley puts you in the role of a farmer who's just inherited a decent piece of nature way outside the busy city. In order to make a proper life here, you'll have to clear out some of the overgrowth, find some tools, and really establish your own crops. Now, I will fully admit that that seems a little bit plain, but it's not. This game keeps you engaged by constantly making it seem like the next goal is so close. Every new plant blooms into something you can sell for money to grab extra gear and further expand your skills. Along with that, you can go into the small nearby town and try and make one of the local hot ladies fall in love with you. Basically, what I'm saying is that Stardew Valley is a great way to spend your free time when you just want to really chill out. Number 5. Sonic Mania. We don't see many games with old school style done well these days, so when we do, it's always a reason to celebrate. Sonic Mania is at its core the ultimate fan project, and I say that because the director of this actually started as a guy just so madly enthralled by the franchise that he started making his own game for free. Sega was very impressed by his work, so they hired him to develop his own full Sonic game, and this is it. Mania is sort of like a remix of retro Sonic levels, and yet with some very modern flavor put into them. For example, since this isn't running on 16-bit hardware, they're able to make our blue hedgehog grow extra fast. Backgrounds are insanely colorful, and every boss is some sort of different weird throwback. I'll confess that when I first saw this game, I didn't quite know what to think of it. My expectations were quite low, because I felt like I had grown up with some of the best Sonics ever, but this actually, in some aspects, manages to surpass them. The more I go back and run through this game again, I see new secrets and side paths that I totally missed before, and having it on a console that I can put in my backpack makes it even more exciting, because now I know that I have that retro spirit anywhere. Number 4. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Something I think that Nintendo can do better than anybody else is taking something complicated and making it easy to understand. In this case, I'm referring to turn-based strategy games, which can be rather daunting to the average player. Kingdom Battles breaks things down to small bites though, teaching you how to dominate the field with your party. Basically, combat works like this. You can move each unit once per turn, and depending on where they end up, you can blast foes nearby. The added element of difficulty though is that you need to worry about cover. The better hidden they are, the harder they are to hit. All of these mechanics come together so that you're sort of taking part in a cute match of chess or something, and it just functions flawlessly. I'm someone who could never really get into XCOM, and yet Mario and Rabbids changes the formula that's known for into something that's just a little bit simpler, and it hooks people like me. It's one of those rare quirky games that honestly I thought I would hate until the moment I tried it, and from then on I was totally loving it. Number 3. Doom. There's a theory in physics called branching universes. This hypothesis states that for every decision that anybody makes, there are multiple worlds that are formed where each one was picked. Now, I'm not sure I fully believe this, but even still, I'm very glad that I live in a reality where freaking Doom is on my Nintendo Switch, because what the heck? It is crazy that Bethesda brought this over. Online shooters are a very big deal to me since I'm a really competitive person. Being able to hop into matches with others from around the globe and tear them up is thrilling, and the fact that this is on a handheld is just nuts. Doom drops you in the boots of a nameless soldier who's just woken up on a base on Mars that's accidentally unleashed all the demons of hell. Lucky for us, our hero's only hobby is ripping out spines and unleashing pure fury with his guns. This game is so fast, bouncing you through rooms filled with carnage, one after another, and shockingly, this ported version keeps that pace intact. I'm not sure which team of devs sold their soul to the devil to make this project run this fluidly, but I'm sure glad they did. Number 2. Golf Story. I'm sure some of you are going to completely make fun of me in the comments for putting this so high on the list, but I absolutely get addicted to Golf Story. It's the only game I can think of in the last year that somehow managed to make me incredibly frustrated with how good the challenge is, made me laugh until I had tears on my face, and also really invested in the characters themselves. Throughout the entire adventure, I was really interested on how this would actually turn out. Now, let's back up a tiny bit. Golf Story on the surface kind of looks like just a little tiny RPG with you as the hero, but it's much more than that. We're following the story of a young man who's decided that he wants to follow his dream of being the ultimate golfer, but doing that is a bit of an uphill battle. In order to get recognition, he starts out by going to local courses and just trying to take some lessons. Soon you're competing against all the top players in the world and trying to actually get some respect. It's really great though because it's a game where there's much more going on here than meets the eye. Okay, you are hitting a ball with a stick, but you're also trying to fight off alligators, bounce your ball off freaking turtle shells, blowing up landmines, and even fighting zombies. This game, in my opinion, is the ultimate example of a game that manages to trick you with its packaging. On the surface, this is just a silly little golf game, but it's not. This is a moving tale of a man trying to actually prove himself to the world, and along the way, you're going to be fighting off all sorts of weird challenges to get there. I highly recommend that if you have not bought Golf Story, get it. Take it on the go and find yourself on the golf course. Number 1. Skyrim. The Elderscrolls V is arguably one of the most important games of the last decade. It's a game that at this point I'm sure everybody's tried because it's on everything. You can practically play this thing on a toaster, but I feel like it's most at home on the Nintendo Switch. Not just because it has great Zelda gear and that's hilarious, but because it's made to be a handheld. This game is all about consuming hundreds of hours of your life, about building a quest of your own, becoming the ultimate assassin and changing the course of history, or mastering the Mages Guild. The decisions you make greatly alter this entire place. Skyrim is a nation, but it's a place in turmoil. There's a giant civil war going on, and around every corner there's a new monster that wants to eat you. Despite all this, there's a lot of hope hidden within this world. Every dungeon has a new little surprise for you to uncover, or a new piece of gear to try and upgrade you. Being able to take a game of this size, of this incredible scale on the go is really life-changing. It's something that I feel like I want to keep with me at all times. I'm a person who travels pretty often, and when I do, having Skyrim in my bag makes me rethink how I play games. It's not just the fact that this game is huge and is fun, it's the fact that it is one of the biggest games of all time playable on a flat screen. Being able to experience it anywhere, anytime, and any way you choose is absolutely epic. And for that reason, I awarded this my pick as the number 1 game better in handheld. Did your favorite game not make the list? Got an idea for a future top 10? Leave it in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. I'm going to admit something to you. In between takes of filming this video, I kept messing with my Switch. That way I could play a little bit of Pokken Tournament, and I actually ran it dead. So I was going to hold it up and do something funny, and now it's impossible. So, oh well. Oh, hey. I was just playing a little bit of Grand Theft Auto on my Darth Vader PSP. Are you curious what I'm going to come out with next? Well, if you click this button, you'll be subscribed to be the first to know. Also, if you click over here and here, you can see my latest review and my latest top 10. I promise, it was super good. Or it was really bad, and I'm sure you can just make fun of me in the comments. Either way, it'll be a lot of fun. Thanks so much for watching.